All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Life of a Champ podcast, episode number 34, featuring the boy Pablo. So, for Pablo, go ahead and introduce yourself. Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Pablo. I grew up with Champ. Third grade?
Third grade, yeah.
Third grade. Went in third grade. Went third grade to probably eighth grade, being close friends. Kind of grew apart in high school, and we've recently reconnected, and here we are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Just to get it started, like I said, Pablo, childhood best friend, pretty much one of my first best friends that I've actually ever had in my entire life. So that was a great experience. Just kind of going through childhood, trying to figure out the world together. Had a lot of crazy experiences regarding just like I said, just coming up in this world. So what was one of your favorite memories that you can remember that we had growing up?
Probably starting out very young. I remember one of your birthdays. We went to a trampoline park
That was lit.
with
Yeah.
Anthony, and we jumped for about probably like 3 hours, and afterwards came back to your place and got pizza and stuff, and then science camp for sure, no doubt.
Science Scout for sure. What a
No
good
doubt.
time. What a good time right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the late nights. The late nights we were just chilling, just talking. Yeah.
And then waking up early and we just wanted to kill ourselves. And then foosball. I don't even know what other games. I remember human foosball because that was probably the most interesting one to me.
Yeah, yeah. What was it?
Uh,
What was it? What was it called? No, that we had. Then we had that other game. What was that
with
other
the
game?
volleyball court, right?
No, they had that as well. No, it was the one that was like in like a little pit. What the hell was it called?
Gaga ball.
Dash. Yeah, Dash shit right there.
That
Hey,
got
if y'all never played
competitive.
that, hey, that's a great time right there. That's a great time.
That got competitive.
Exactly.
With JR and River.
Yes, it got
Oh,
competitive for
God.
sure, for sure. Yeah, that's a good time right there. So yeah, obviously a few years disconnected. How would you say your life has been since high school? I know we kind of talked a little bit in high school
Mhm.
towards the end of it, but how has your life been? And how's this life been treating you, man?
Well, life. I mean, I've been my freshman year of college. I was playing soccer in Iowa. Ended up getting injured towards something going to my thumb. Didn't want to do a surgery, so I transferred back home, and I ended up going up to NAU. And then from there, did my first year there, and was offered a job to teach in the chem lab, and that's coming up soon.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And then serving on the weekends just to keep some money flowing and having more to spend. But honestly, it's just been school, work, um, gym, keeping active, hanging out with friends, trying to make new friends, obviously, from transferring from one school to another. But it's been nice. Weather's perfect, nothing bad. Everything's kind of going as it should for right now.
That sounds pretty good, man. I'm glad to hear that you kind of like not too high, not too low type of guy, and just kind of like just vibing out, enjoying the way life is. Whether it's like I said, even if it's at its lowest moments, just kind of like having that
Just kind of going through
optimistic
it.
mindset. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Not keeping my head down. If something happens, I mean, it happens. You can't. I'm only gonna control what I can. If it's
Exactly.
something that happens with somebody else, then obviously I can only do so much. If it affects me, I gotta find a way to get out of it. I'm not trying to
Facts.
stay in that slump too long.
Facts. And then I just have a question. So you said you tore a few ligaments in your thumb, correct?
hmm
So what made you not want to get surgery on it?
So hand surgeries. Looking at stats, we all know they don't turn out too well. It was my right hand, which is my dominant hand, and I was 19 when it happened. I still have what 80 more years, maybe if I'm
Shit,
like
here's the thing.
70.
You might have more than 80 years with the way technology's going and stuff.
70 years at least, 60 if I mean, anything can happen. Obviously, I can die
Yeah.
tomorrow, God forbid, but I mean, I wasn't going to ruin my dominant hand for the rest of my life to play a sport that was only going to take me for 3 more years, you know? There was no point in going through the surgery and it being messed up and then leading to more surgeries and then even more messed up. So I was like, let's be smart about it. Soccer's not going to get me the rest of my life. So it was nice because it paid for my school and everything, but it's not something that was going to hold me for a future, you know?
Yeah, for sure. That's a business decision right there. That is something that's there's people that would make that decision to go ahead and pursue that career or pursue that endeavor, right?
I mean, it was hard. It's hard to walk
Yeah.
away from something that I've been playing for 16 years of my life and to just leave it because of an injury, which I never had growing up, which I was lucky for as well. But just walking away from it and the opportunity that I got to play in college obviously is a big one. But I enjoyed it while it lasted, and I mean, we're moving on and starting a new chapter without soccer. I'm lucky that it wasn't a knee or an ankle, so I can still play.
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
can't play in the goal. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With your specific position, obviously you had to use your hands,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah,
But yeah, obviously soccer's not majority of it's not using your hands if you're doing
exactly.
it right,
Yeah, exactly. So this is where we are today, and I mean, it doesn't bother me. Obviously, if I nick it on something, I might feel something, but it's not enough pain to be like I can't do it anymore. But I mean, it was better than the surgery and then finding out if it was gonna work or not work. So I just thought it's time to move on.
Yeah, for sure. And then, how would you say? What percentage would you say it's healed?
They said it would reach a maximum of 80%.
Really, that's it? Max out 80%.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, I work out, don't feel pain in it. I mean,
That's
I
good.
can grab, hold things, be in weird positions. I've been rock climbing. Literally today was my first day. Not gonna lie.
Really? You
Yeah.
see, you said I've been rock climbing. Like you've been doing that shit.
No, today was my first day, and I was able to grip everything really well.
That's
Thumb
good,
didn't
that's
give me an issue, so I mean, maybe it's more than 80%. I haven't got it checked, but I mean, there's no need to get it checked anymore. So I'm not gonna spend the money to go do that if they're just gonna tell me, yeah, it's at 80%, or tell me if it's more. So.
You said, yeah, I've been doing it. I've been doing it. Today was actually my first day. That's crazy. That's crazy. Um, how would you say that was? Because I've actually never been rock climbing.
Rock climbing, definitely, it was interesting. It takes a lot of forearm strength, but if
Oh,
you're
yeah?
doing it right, you can get most of it through your legs. Obviously, when you get to harder courses, it does become more difficult, but overall, I'd recommend doing it. It was definitely a workout. I was drenched in sweat, I'm not gonna lie. So I would do it again.
For sure. Where did you go?
It was Phoenix Rock Climbing in Tempe.
In Tempe. Okay, that's I assume that's closer to where you live.
No,
It's not.
no.
How far was it from where you live?
From where I live, it was about 27 minutes, so about half.
27 minutes. Okay. I know they have a place around here.
Yeah,
I
but
think
this
that's
is
Higley.
yeah, this is about 30 minutes for
Ah,
me.
shit.
So
Yeah. Well,
it's
well.
27 minutes that way, and you're 27 minutes this way. So it's kind of
Shit. Yeah. No.
same thing.
Yeah, for sure. I see we had a few viewers in here. Appreciate you for stopping by. If you're in here right now, make sure you leave a comment. Just just make sure you leave a comment just so we can see who's in here. Yeah, but yeah, that is something that I eventually wanted to do just because I think that one right there next to Higley is pretty new, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know, is it Haley and where? You know the other cross street?
I'm not too sure. Maybe Higley and Power. I'm not too sure, but I know it's not that far. I know I could
Haley
probably.
and Power run the same way.
Okay, so like I was saying, right? I think it's like literally 10 minutes away
Pecos.
from here.
Pecos.
It could be. I think it is
Yeah,
Pecos.
because my sister goes to that one, I think. But she drives after Top Golf, so she's already
Oh
over
yeah,
here.
she's already close by at that point, right? But rock climbing is fun. Have you actually been rock climbing, Bree? Go ahead and let me know. But yeah, that is something that's I think I don't think I've actually done it. I know I seen people do it in like when I was in the rec center. Have you ever been to a rec center where they had that?
Yeah, the one on by Freestone has it.
Yeah, yeah. So I've seen people do it, but I've never tried to do it. She said yes, I have. When did you do that? I don't remember you ever doing that. Twice? I don't remember you doing that even once. Go ahead and let me know. So going back to what we were talking about earlier with high school, right? So what are 3 lessons that you've learned after high school that's kind of helped you transition from that, like I said, that kind of being a child, or not really a child, but
A young adult to an
like a
adult.
teen to like an adult, and like that transition in general. What would you say 3 lessons are?
For sure. So me being in college, obviously, no one's on your ass anymore. You can show up to class, not show up to class, do your work, not do your work, show up for an exam, skip an exam. Obviously, no one's gonna be on your ass, so that was definitely a difference. But I mean, I was never one in high school to be that kind of slack off, so it wasn't a big difference for me. But it was a lot of things that kids struggled with. So I feel like just being on your own and doing your own shit when you need to is
Yes.
definitely something that I picked up on really quick. Another one is coming down to friends. You'll have people that you'll meet in a class, and then you won't see them for another 3-4 semesters, and they'll pop back up again. I mean, I have a lot of friends that I've met in a class for chemistry, and then I probably won't see them again till maybe later on, or not see them at all. We might still be taking the same courses, but they're not going to be in the same class just because it's. I mean, you have around 200 to 250 kids in each lecture hall. So obviously the 2 people next to you and maybe the people in front of you and behind you are going to become your friends more than likely, and you'll study with them and stuff. And then after the class is over, you may never see them again. You'll have their contact information, blah, 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 but you guys only really connected because you're in the same class.
Fair enough.
But those are the friends that give you connections because then you have help elsewhere. You don't need to rely on the people in your class, but you can reach out to somebody in a different class, which
Yeah,
helps.
that's a good resource right there.
And then I would just say like just finding out who you are really. You get to college and everybody you'll see the different groups just like you see them in college. I mean in high school to college, but obviously people are more open minded in college because they've matured a lot more.
Yeah,
So
for
you
sure.
are more diverse in who you hang out with and things you do with other people. I mean, I had a group of buddies that would go snowboarding and we'd all go together. And then I had the group from work that we would hang out after work or we'd go snowboarding someday. So the more diverse you are, obviously the more connections you make and the more relationships you have for the future.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, so you would say that transition to trying to intentionally make more friends. How would you say that's been for you? Because I know some people after high school that is a big struggle that they have moving forward in life is just being able to make new friends.
Well, I mean, it just depends how talkative you are. And, like if you show up to class, I mean, with the mean face on, obviously no one's going to really want to sit next to you or talk to you.
Fair enough.
And that's kind of how it was at first. Everybody has that look because they don't really want to get stuck with someone they're not going to connect with. But the more open you are and the happier you are and the more willing you are to talk to someone that's next to you that maybe not to be talking to you but taking that risk is the best thing you could probably do. I mean, I have people from some of my calc classes that I had calc 2 last semester and we didn't have a single class this semester, but we would still communicate, hang out. She was taking a chemistry course that I had already taken. So we were just hanging out and helping her out, and then she would help me in the physics because she was ahead in physics. I mean,
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
everybody's once you get to college, no one's taking the same courses as you, so they might be ahead in some areas and you might be behind in some, and then you might be ahead in some and they might be behind in others. So the more connections you make, the more you're able to get more help through other than like the professor or the teacher assistant.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, that's definitely like I said, that's a perk. That's a perk of being just a friendly person in general. Like I said, having those connections where they can help you out in certain situations. Going back, I wanted to go back to what you were talking about earlier for your first lesson that you learned. So you would say that that stems within self discipline in trying to, um, hold yourself accountable, right?
Yeah.
To obviously stay on course, to do what you
hmm
need to do. Would you say how much of that instilled through through your parents?
Um, a lot of it. I mean, a lot of it also had me growing up through soccer, and my coaches were always on our asses about grades. And even in high school, obviously, you have to maintain a certain grade level within your 5 courses or 6, whatever you're taking. But even my club coaches, they didn't necessarily need to care or need to find out if I was failing a class, passing a class, had a C, D, whatever. But most of my coaches were on our asses about it, and they would ask to see our grades. If we had a C, we didn't start. If you were a starter and you had a C, you were sitting the bench most of the game. He didn't want kids that weren't doing good in school to be playing for him, so it was kind of disciplined. If people had D's and F's, we were doing conditioning and punishments. We're all a team, so it was kind of that instilled through soccer. If we all, one's falling behind, we all struggle together. So there was no in between. If one person's failing and everybody else is passing, we all suffered for the one person.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's one of those lessons that you don't fully like accept or like I don't know, like just like completely comprehend until after the fact, right? That's not something you're exactly going to appreciate in the moment. You're like, man, I'm doing all this shit, but
hmm
like I said, looking back, obviously,
I mean, looking back, yeah, we would tear the guy apart after practice. Literally, like amongst ourselves, we would tear him apart and not like threaten him or anything like that, obviously, but like we definitely get on his ass and
yeah, you gotta
tell
check
him
him.
to,
You gotta check him for the one
yeah,
time.
tell him to pick up his shit because we didn't want to run for something we're not really doing. Obviously, if we do something at practice and he makes us run, then yeah, we're all accountable
Yeah,
for it.
then y'all earned it at that point.
But if it's because of one person that was slacking off in class and punishes everybody else, then yeah, we were on him and we held each other accountable on the field, off the field, anything like that.
Pretty good, pretty good. And then for me, 3 lessons that I learned after high school. I would say one lesson that I learned specifically is just what it takes to really be in tune with the way you think. I feel like a lot of people, and I don't know if you recognize this a lot, but I see this. A lot of people have like self-sabotaging thought patterns that don't really serve them, and or they've grown to a point where they no longer need to do that because, like I said, they've outgrown it. But I feel like a lot of people stay in having those old habits and then eventually, like I said, it's going to catch up to them.
So are you saying like more like think for yourself and then not following the patterns that you should have already overcome when in high school, kind of?
Yes, yes, kinda, and then also just like having that adaptability of where if you're doing something, is it going to serve you? Like like I don't know, for example, like I don't know if you play. Do you play video games?
Every now and then.
Okay, so for me, for example, that's one of the things that I personally had to sacrifice because I recognize that like it's probably not, even though it's a great time. Like trust me, don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
it's always a great time, but it's not, in my opinion, what it's going to be like helping me in the future. That is just something that is going to be like a leisure activity.
gotcha. No, I know what you mean.
So that's something that I personally need to sacrifice because it wasn't going to really get me anywhere. I'm
Mhm.
not trying to go pro in gaming,
Yeah.
which can be done, of course, but
Yeah.
that's not something that I'm trying to pursue.
So
So I'm
you're
not
like
gonna.
limiting your time or not playing at all some days just so you can focus on what is gonna take you to your next level or chapter in life, and whether it's a job or X, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And then the second lesson that I learned is just paying attention to what you're focused on. Um, like I had mentioned, if I'm focused on video games, then it's kind of the opportunity cost of I could be putting my energy and time and attention somewhere else.
Mm.
So directing that has been an interesting thing after high school.
So
Like I said,
like that I mean, with that, like discipline would be kind of what you're going for with
yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah, pretty much for the most part. And the third one I would say is I would say just almost unlearning things. There's a lot of things that how do I explain this?
I know what you're trying to say.
So life is learning, right? But there's certain things you learned in your past that don't really serve you for now. So you have to so you learn, you unlearn, and you relearn. So I'm in the process of just relearning some certain things that, like I mentioned, are just not serving me.
Well, okay, so the biggest example that I can think of with that is high school. People say you're gonna go through high school, go through college, earn your degree, and then get that job as soon as you get out of college. Bullshit.
Bullshit, exactly.
You're not going through. Yeah, you can go through high school, go to college, and then you get your degree, and then you might not get hired for a year, 2 years, just depending on what your degree is in.
Exactly.
So I think that's kind of the biggest example I can think of is learning that not everybody's path is school, school, job. It's gonna be school, take a break, school, get your degree, not get the job you want, go back for more school, and then get a job, or not even find that job, completely change what you're doing and go on elsewhere. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just trying to, like I said, just trying to figure your
Yeah.
way out through this life. And my okay, so you obviously you'd mentioned you're in college, right?
Mm.
So how would do you go to like any parties? Do you like have any like certain events that you go to? Because I know that's a popular thing within colleges, kind of just indulging within the environment. Do you see yourself
Um,
doing that, or are you kind of just maybe the people that you're around are
I
kind of
mean, I
just
don't
not
go
like
to like frat houses and stuff like that or sororities. Never. I've not gone to. I've not slept in a single house
why is that?
because I just don't see the point of doing it. There's
Okay.
no. I mean, yeah, drinking whatever it could be fun, but every weekend, every weekend you're ruining yourself because you're gonna for one for sure feel like shit the next day.
Facts.
No doubt.
Facts.
You literally have people showing up hungover on Monday because they were drunk all day Saturday, and then we're still drunk on Sunday even though they weren't drinking, and then hungover all day Monday. And I was not about it. I mean, yeah, I went to gatherings and stuff, but it was nothing ever over probably 20 people. So more of like a kickback or just kind of taking a load off from school, and then
Yeah, y'all just catching the vibe for sure.
yeah, we're not really getting there to get fucked up or go on and feel like shit the next day because we all obviously had shit to do. School, obviously, some of us worked. During season, and we obviously wanted to go snowboarding, so we knew we kind of split it up, go a little light all through the weekend, and go snowboarding all day. But yeah, not really my vibe kind of thing. Not something I see myself doing on the weekend or every weekend at least.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad to hear that because at least I recognize this through people that are going through college. They get lost in the sauce.
Oh, 100%.
They get lost in the sauce. They get around a group of
bad group.
people. Exactly, and then it kind of like you kind of don't want to lose that group because then you might be isolated. So you have no choice but to go with that group, and then that group's not leading you to the path that's going to be the most efficient path.
And also another thing I've taken, no offense to any of my business majors that might be watching this or will watch this, a lot of those people are business majors. They're classes that are easier, as if people say. I don't know. I've never taken a business class, obviously, but most of people and brats that party all weekend long are business majors or some kind of major that's other than STEM.
Okay.
So that's how I've seen it, and I've talked to plenty of frat guys that have been in classes and whatnot, and they all say they're business majors. So I don't know if that's true, but from my experience, that's how it's been.
Okay. So you obviously see a trend. Okay. For sure. That's definitely interesting. That's not something I exactly expected out of.
Yeah, you don't really have a lot of STEM majors that do that. At least not every weekend. Yeah, they might take a load off maybe once a month, but not every weekend. You don't really see that because they have exams, quizzes, a whole bunch of shit going on.
Yeah,
But
yeah. They're focused. They're locked
yeah.
in. They're locked in on what
I
they need
mean,
to
they're
achieve.
there because they obviously, and I mean, kids that aren't paying for the school don't really value it. You know, like if they're not paying it, they're like, well, it's not coming out of my pocket. But in the end game, if I were to fail one of my classes, because I don't pay for some of my school. I do pay for some of it, but my parents help me out a lot.
Shout out to the parents. Shout out to the
Um,
parents. Come on now.
but if I were to fail a class, then it'd be on me. They'd be like, okay, well, you're gonna retake it, and if you fail it again because you've been slacking off or whatever happened, then obviously you're gonna be held accountable for paying a majority of more of your school. So that's just how it's been with me. I don't know for anybody else, but that's kind of the rule that has been instilled in me, and that's kind of why I don't really see myself going out on the weekends and getting drunk to the point where I can't go to school on Monday.
Or yeah, or like it's you're more inclined to not go right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely. That's like I said. That's a luxury to have right there. And it's like we were talking about earlier. It takes a lot of self discipline, and
Yeah.
like I said, a lot of people get lost in the sauce. One thing I want to mention. One thing I want to talk about. Right. So you're around this environment of a bunch of people that are of your age, around your age, correct?
Mhm.
So with that being said, there's going to be probably a lot of women around, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Pablo, for you, what has been your experience within dating? Are you currently dating someone?
I am not.
What is your dating experience,
So
and what is your thoughts on it
my last relationship was in high school. I have not gotten in a relationship anytime after that. Yeah, I've gone out with girls, blah blah blah, but I don't see right now with me being busy with school and the load I have with classes and whatnot. I don't see myself in putting a situation for myself, but also for the girl I'm with. I don't want her to feel like I'm not paying attention, or girls need some kind of attention.
Yeah, for sure,
Not saying that
for
they're needy or
sure.
anything, but they obviously need some kind of reassurance and stuff like that. And I don't want to put myself in a situation where I can't give that, nor for a girl to feel shitty and like me using her in a way.
Hmm.
So I rather just kind of be open about it and tell them like maybe right now isn't the best time. We can hang out, blah blah blah, but to like put a title on it and be dating, I rather just kind of steer away from that for the moment and figure myself out before I can help somebody else maybe figure them out or have them and grow together with them.
Okay, that's definitely an interesting perspective. So you would say, so are you currently dating? Are you currently dating anybody? Right? Are you talking to anybody? Are you just
No, I
doing
mean if
Pablo?
we hang out, no. I mean I've been doing me. If I mean I go to the gym, I work. Really that's kind of all been recently. But I don't really. I mean, I'll go out with people and stuff like that, but I haven't been on a date since I've been home. Obviously, I mean, it doesn't also help that I leave in 3 months. So why start something here when,
Yeah.
So I mean, and I'm open about it. Like if I meet a girl and we hit it off, then I'll be like I go to college and Flagstaff. Just know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ghost you, but you're gonna know that there's gonna be 2 hours in between if this ever becomes something else. Because obviously, I'm not gonna transfer because I have a good position up there,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna make you go up there if you have a good position down here.
Fair
We
enough.
can,
Fair enough.
if it gets serious, and we can maybe work at work, but at the moment, it's not something I'm actively looking for, or trying to get into.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not a priority, and it's definitely not a focus. You would say, and of course, if the right one comes, whatever that looks like, right? Then you might have to consider, of course.
Okay, so then what about for you then?
Okay, for
I mean,
me,
you've been working obviously and hitting the gym as well, but
of course.
what else has been going on with dating life, girls, whatever?
Okay, so my perception has been it's ever changing. I would say. I recognize that obviously I'm not the full version of Champ, right? And obviously you're not the full version of Pablo.
Right.
What that's going to look like in the future. So obviously my options and the quality that I'm looking for is not always going to be there. Of course, there's women that I've dated in the past that have been of quality,
Right.
but ultimately I'm at a point where um, you really just need to focus on yourself. And I see a lot of people our age that are just not, they're not willing to give that up. They are pursuing something, and like I said, it took me a while to get to this point of view that I have now. But ultimately, I'm focused on me, and I can say that I'm not talking to anyone. I'm strictly focused on what I need to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it took me a while to get there. My dating life. If you have a specific question regarding my dating life, I'll go ahead and give you an answer. But as of right now, like I said, I'm focused on me doing what I need to do, and that is something that I can leave off and, like I said, go back to if I feel like it. But at the end of the day, it's definitely not a focus or a priority as of right now.
Yeah. So you're kind of the same boat as me. Just
Yeah,
kind of
essentially.
figuring yourself out and making sure you're in a position where you can have your things together and have another person be together and then grow from there. Because there's no point in getting into something that you're complete, and that somebody else is still not there yet. Because then you're stuck trying to fix and help, and that just doesn't really work out.
Yeah, exactly. And then you actually sent me something. I can't remember exactly what it was. You sent me something regarding dating because I can't remember if I posted something or not. But you'd said something like, I'm pretty sure it was you. You were saying something like you can't like you shouldn't be
Oh,
looking
oh.
for, well, what the hell was it?
I think it's saved. Hold on, hold on.
You were like
I
you
know.
shouldn't be looking for.
Oh, you shouldn't be looking for
Try to find it, Pablo. Try to
I have to
find.
find it. No, I can't
I
remember.
I I kind of get the concept of it, but
I know because you were confused at first when I
well,
said
not
it.
exactly confused because it's like, okay, okay, we'll go ahead and let's see if he can find it, then we can go ahead and talk about it.
All right.
But if you're in here right now, I appreciate you for stopping by. Looks like we got 4 viewers. If you want us to talk about a specific topic, make sure you go ahead and leave it down in the comments. But I appreciate y'all, and like I said, just make sure you leave a comment just so we can see who's in here. Bree, I appreciate you for commenting as well. Follow, we got it or no? I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I think it
You know if it
was.
was before or after my birthday?
It was. I thought it was before that shit,
Persons
or I thought it was after that. I could be wrong though. Okay, let me see if I can remember. It was something like you shouldn't be looking to like build somebody. They should just come like that type shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, hold on. I'm getting to where we were. It was coming up because we were talking about the podcast.
Okay, okay. Let's see if we can find. Let's see if we can find it.
Yep, yep. Some slide. I'm gonna.
I wasn't exactly confused. I was more of like, man, you're putting a lot of fucking pressure on the woman to come correct like that, which, of course, can be done. But at the end of the day, most of the women our age are definitely not complete. They're definitely, and of course, majority of the dudes aren't complete, obviously, as well. So that's the dilemma that you have.
Uh,
Yeah, come on, Paulo. You said you got to remember that, man. Come on, no.
Okay, the third day.
We got 5 people in here. Appreciate you for stopping by. Like I said, make sure you leave a comment just so we can see who's in here.
Oh, you didn't save it.
Damn it.
I think it was like you can't force someone to be the right one. They should
Mm.
come to you being the right one, and then it should be going from and then growing from there. But you can't have someone coming to you broken, and then you trying to help, and that's the reason why they fall for you. You know, they already have to come being whole. Obviously, everybody has their past, which is fine, but they can't come to you being coming out of a relationship, whether it's recent, and then them attaching to you. Because obviously, if they're coming out of a relationship and attached to you, then if you're not together 24/7, that's just not gonna work. Because obviously, you have your shit going on and your goals,
Yeah.
and she's trying to get to her goals, but she's using you as an anchor to pull herself up to it.
Okay. Okay. So obviously, not don't find somebody broken. First of all, but I want questions. Okay, I have a question for you. So obviously, you say you're not really looking for something, but what type of quality are you looking for? Like, what specific things are you looking for? I know certain people have. Maybe she has to do this or do that. Like, what? Like I said, if a woman came to you right now and was like, "Hey, Pablo, I understand your situation. I'm willing to go ahead and stick it through with you, but what would that woman look like? What qualities would she have? You got to have time. Okay, to grow.
So,
Facts for you, right?
I'm not necessarily looking for a specific quality. I'm looking more for someone that is in the same position as me. They have their goals in front of them and they're working on them and they're not dropping everything to like work things out with me.
Okay.
You know, obviously, if we're together side by side and we were growing together, then yeah, I'd be down for it. But
Okay.
if she's still kind of figuring herself out and doesn't really have her plan, I don't really want to get involved because I don't want her plan to be around me. But for if not before I ever was in the picture.
So you're saying you shouldn't. She doesn't. You don't want her to like ingrain her plan with you being
Right.
inside of it.
I want our plans to be separate,
Okay.
but growing together. If that makes sense. I
Yeah,
don't
for
want
sure.
something to like. I have my plans and my goals, obviously, but I don't want her to be like, well, like say like her plan is to go to school and stuff, but she's like, well, if it's gonna mean, say she has like a great opportunity going to Colorado, for instance, but I'm going to Flagstaff, be like, well, I'm gonna go to Flagstaff because that's where you are. I was like, no, go to Colorado. They're giving you the opportunity. I don't want your goals to be.
Yeah, because the shit don't work out. Hey,
Yeah, I was like, I
it's a
don't.
bad look.
Not that if the opportunity's in Flagstaff, perfect. But I don't want her to be like, well, if you're gonna be there, then I want to be there with you. You know, like if her goal is ASU for say, and she's already here, then continue through ASU. Why follow me to something that my goal is at just because my goal is there, and you're gonna make your goal be there when it's not there currently.
Hmm. Yeah, so it just can't be forced. It would just kind of have to work, right? Pablo, what is your type, man?
I don't.
You got Pablo. You gotta have a type, man. You gotta have a
That's
type.
such a hard question because
It's not.
I'm not really a guy to.
You have a type, Pablo. Come on, no, don't lie to me.
I'm. Okay, I would say colored eyes are for sure a plus.
Okay, so you're saying like what, like
Blues, greens, hazels, anything other than brown. I mean,
Damn.
it's not a deal breaker, obviously. Like I'm not a shallow person, but always a plus. Just like girls have their pluses on guys.
Yeah.
Obviously personality is a big one. I need someone to be able to connect, and then also like me being Hispanic. My grandparents obviously don't speak English, so obviously someone that might be willing to try and communicate with them in Spanish. Always kind of not like it's like a deal breaker, but like it always makes me feel good because they're trying and they're actively trying to communicate with them, even though they know they don't speak English. You know what I mean? And even with my family, like obviously my mom, you know, me and my mom, she speaks English well and everything. But obviously, if the girl would try and like speak Spanish, it'd be like perfect because I can tell that if she cares enough to try and speak Spanish and learn Spanish for me, then obviously it's worth
She
someone.
dedicated. She
Exactly.
dedicated, right?
Like I don't want someone. Obviously, it's not a deal breaker or anything. Obviously, learning a language is hard, but the simple things, hi, bye, please, thank you, more of say for food or anything like that. Like any little thing like that, obviously catches my eye because it's just kind of out of respect because they know obviously my background.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously a girl that be down to do literally anything, can dress up, dress down, play sports. If they don't have to be athletic, but if they're willing to try, great.
Yes. Plus, obviously, yeah.
But obviously a girl that could also, if we want to go out fancy and do a dinner date or anything like that, obviously dress up and be able to go.
Okay, for sure. Do you have a specific like? So obviously, ideally, would you say Hispanic women are your type then? Because that
I
they
mean,
would.
they don't have to be Hispanic. If not, I mean, I
Okay,
haven't
so
really.
so Pablo, what's your type then? What's your type then?
I mean, I've
Nationality-wise.
dated Hispanic.
No. What's
There's
your type?
not really a
There's
type.
a type, Pablo.
There
Pablo,
isn't a type.
Come on now, come on.
Why would I be lying to you?
Ain't no way, Pablo. All right, so okay.
There's not. I mean, I've dated a Hispanic girl.
Okay.
I've dated a white girl.
Okay.
And then I've talked and hung out with different white girls, Mexicans, Latinas, Colombians, Dominicans. Like, there's not really a set.
Is there any you stay away from, Pablo?
No.
That's what I.
No, I mean,
Okay.
if a light skin comes and we click, okay, let's see where things go. I'm not gonna discriminate just because or not try. If we connect,
Yeah, go ahead.
then we connect.
For sure. Okay.
If we don't connect, and you just happen to be Hispanic, and we don't connect, then we don't connect. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
okay, for
not
sure.
the end of the world.
Jacob said something. You know Jacob?
Bruh. So, this is a long story.
Hold on. His type is. Oh damn, Pablo! What?
Okay, so this is
Whoa!
This is what happened. This is what happened. He'll believe what he wants. So this is the situation.
You don't have to explain it if you don't want to.
I don't care.
Okay.
It's not. I mean, I'm not affected. I know I did nothing wrong.
Okay, go ahead. Explain yourself.
So I met him. He was in my Calc 2 class up at NEU, and he was actually one of the persons we studied with for our final. And we went through, I mean, played soccer together sometimes. And then I was on Tinder, and his ex matched with me. I recognized the name and the girl, and I sent it to him. And I was like, isn't this your ex? He's like, yeah, that's her. And then I'm not going to get into details with what he told me about the girl because that's not, I'm not.
Yeah, it's not your place.
It's not my place.
Yeah.
So I obviously got her Snap and whatnot because this was before I knew, like I recognized her after.
Okay.
And one night, she texted me and told me that her Jeep had broken down. I was with a friend, and I told her, well, I'm hanging out with friends. I'm not gonna be able to look at it today. And she told me because she knew I had a Jeep. So
Yeah.
she's like, well, maybe you can help. So she ended up picking me up with a friend the next morning because I stayed the night because I had drinks. And she ended up dropping me off in the morning. He was leaving to pack his car because we were about to leave school because we were done. And he accused me of sleeping with her.
Really? Wow.
And
Wow.
to this day,
Damn. Hey, right there. Hey, look what he said.
but yet you told me that she lied to you and this is why you broke up with her.
Shut. I got you, Paul. I got you.
That's literally what
Ain't
the
no
whole
fucking way.
reason why your relationship ended, because she was a compulsive liar, and that's what you told me, and that's why I stayed away. She could tell you what she wants, but at the end of the day, I know I'm a good person, and I was just helping her out because I had a Jeep, she had a Jeep, and that's what happened.
And here's the thing. Hey, whoa. Here's another thing you need to take into account, my dog. Is she trying to make you jealous? If she moving slimy like that, if she lying like that, she could be trying to do it intentionally to make you jealous. Who knows? Obviously, I don't know. I wasn't there, but I'm just saying you gotta look. You gotta look at it that way. Here's the thing. I know women that move slimy like that, so you gotta take that into account.
That was that.
But it is what it is. It is what it is. We'll go ahead and move on.
I'm not gonna get more into it because
Yeah.
this is obviously your podcast. That was a little detour. Whatever other questions you want to ask, go ahead. But we'll leave that how it is.
All right, you got any questions for me?
I mean, I know your type from what you've dated. And,
Okay, what is that? What is that? What is that, Pablo?
athletic for one.
Yeah, yeah.
I would say blue eyes
Prefer.
are a plus for you.
Definitely.
And just kind of down to earth, really. Have the same sense of humor you did. So I don't think it really matters. Because, you dated, was it Dominican? Dominican, American.
Dominican, white, and white. The day he's putting the whole paragraph in there. Ain't no way, G. Ain't no way. Hey, wait. You can read it. We don't gotta talk about it. We don't gotta talk about it.
I'm not gonna get into it. If
Hey,
it's your
here's the thing.
podcast.
Hey, my dog. I appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Appreciate it. Go ahead and turn the post notifications on. Come on now. You already know
Oh
what time
my
it is, man.
god, I'm not gonna get into it.
It's all good. It's all good. You ain't got to explain yourself. You ain't got to explain yourself. Yes.
I already did. I told
yeah.
my end. Whatever he wants to say is up to him. I know my morals are, obviously you've known me how long, and you know my morals are not like that. I'm not gonna.
Pablo don't move slimy. Champ certified. Pablo don't move slimy.
So, whatever he wants to say, if he wants to bash on my name, then he can do that. I'm not here to do anything else. We'll just move forward and do whatever happens.
Yeah. So going back to my dating, right? Obviously, it's been Dominican, white. That's it. That's how it is. That's how it's been for me, right?
Well, okay. Would you say that white is your type, or would
For
you
sure.
be okay?
It's definitely my preference. That's for sure.
Gotcha.
My preference, like you had mentioned, of course, lighter eyes. That is definitely a preference. I've talked to girls with green eyes, blue eyes. That's green eyes majority, which makes I don't even know how that makes any sense, but majority of the girls that I've talked to have
Green eyes.
had green eyes.
It's just quit it. It just happens,
Yeah, for sure. And then what was I going to say? Yeah, definitely just white. Pretty much. That's about it. Yeah, they got obviously.
come.
Yeah, for sure.
If that's what happens, then it happens with them. If it happens with a Hispanic, then it happens a Hispanic. You know what I mean? I don't think you're against going if, say, you found an African American attractive.
Yeah.
For whatever. If you click, then you're gonna be more willing to pursue it than if it was Asian, it didn't click, then friends and go from there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is what it is, right? It comes the way it does. Obviously, I'm not closed off to any other race specifically, but like I said, that's just
how it's been.
how it's been. Exactly. There you go. That's a good way to put it right there. For hair color, do you have a preference in hair color, or is it pretty much just whatever?
It doesn't really matter.
My preference is blonde hair or red hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Red hair.
Yeah.
I can see blonde, but red?
Yeah. Hey man, come on now. Hey, come on now. Damn, you want to do? Jason want to do it like that?
No, he went to high school with me. He was my holder for football.
Damn. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna do you like that. Hey, Jason, relax, man. Relax.
Respectfully.
He said
respectfully.
respectfully,
Okay, it's
yo,
fine. You said respectfully. I get it.
He said, I get it. That's crazy.
Hey, we were playing golf later or what?
Hey, go ahead and let him know. Also, like I said, appreciate you for stopping by. Make sure you leave a comment as well as subscribe. Yeah, we got Pablo. Pablo's gonna come on a few times when he can. Like
Yeah,
I said, as
whenever it
long as
works. Yeah, I'm down.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But yeah, getting past dating. Yeah, that like I said, that pretty much sums up um my dating, how it's been, what I'm looking for specifically. Is just somebody who's just going to be down for me and just me. That's it. I'm not really interested in playing the games. I've had the games been played. I'm not interested in that. That's repellent right there. I don't know if you've had that. If you've had that experience within your dating life where they're just literally just playing games, or like they
I
just
mean, you can.
like specifically like for attention. That's my boy Champ. I'm just kidding. Secret like come on now.
I'm playing you in golf.
5 Gs.
5 Gs.
You put a 5 Gs on that, Pablo.
I don't know. I don't know if I got that kind of money to just give out for you, bro. You obviously know I don't play golf.
Hey, here's the thing. You wouldn't be losing, Pablo. So that'd be your 5 Gs right there.
I don't know. The man plays kind of often, so
Oh no, he did.
he does play. He plays a lot.
That's funny. That's funny.
But
Yeah, I appreciate you for stopping by, my dog. But yeah. So, do you have any questions for me? Obviously, we spent pretty significant time apart outside of us working out, like you said,
yeah.
a little bit under a year ago. But
I mean, I feel
any
like
questions for me?
in high school, everybody. I mean, yeah, we didn't like talk, but I mean, I'd see you around, and
Yeah, we were cool. We were
and
cool,
then,
of course.
obviously, whatever you posted on social media, and obviously, if it was interesting, I'd slide up and whatnot. But I mean, other than that, I mean, I feel like high school, no one really missed out on a lot. Obviously, ours was cut short, as we know.
Yeah, that's a tragedy, by the
Class of
way.
2020 right there, but
Man, that's a tragedy right there.
more about how have you been after, honestly, because I mean, high school, I pretty much saw you every day, senior year.
Yeah, that's true. After I just worked at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that. And then obviously I worked at the gym. I told you a little bit about that.
Yeah.
I worked there for just under a year. Besides that, like I said, just doing a lot of soul searching, a lot of just figuring out what I like, what I don't like, what I'm looking for in this life.
Mhm.
Just answering the questions, just answering life's questions. And I feel like the people who get most out of life are typically the ones that ask the best questions.
Yeah.
So I've just been doing that. A lot of learning. I read pretty frequently. Obviously, got the podcast. You already know what time it is. But besides that, just indulging with my music, and just pretty much just trying to develop myself in all ways that I possibly can. Um, like I had mentioned, I've been working out for just over a year now, so that is something that's definitely been a priority. Just recently got back in the gym because they banned me, but you can't get rid of me. I'm back in the gym, so that has definitely been a priority of mine. Obviously, you said it's been a priority of yours. Okay, if you can go back in time and teach yourself one lesson about the gym, or like maybe like a certain workout, or maybe like a certain principle, what would you tell yourself?
Don't compare yourself to others.
Don't compare yourself to others.
You're always
Okay.
gonna put yourself down. Obviously, there's always gonna be people that are bigger than you, stronger with you. I would definitely say do the weight that you're comfortable with. Obviously, yeah, you get to a point where you want to max out and progress, which is fine. But don't if you've been squatting 2 plates, don't try and throw on 3 right off the bat just because you've been squatting 2. Work your way up. Don't injure yourself because then that just puts you out. There's no
Yeah,
point
so-
in hurting yourself and then you're losing everything because you have to be out for a week, 2, whatever it might be.
Yeah, so basically no ego lifting, pretty much.
Yeah.
Stay in your own lane. Simple as that. Okay, that's pretty good advice. It looks like we got 5 viewers in here. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. Make sure you leave a comment. But yeah, we just been live for just under an hour. So with that being said, the next thing I want to talk about is something we both experienced within high school. It's obviously okay. First, I want to go back to high school a little bit. Who was your favorite teacher? If you could have one teacher that was like this person was the best teacher, who would you say?
That's hard. I can tell you a top 3.
All right, give me top 3 then.
Top 3, Zellner, just because she's been in my not in my family, but my sister had her, my brother had her, and then I had her, so she's obviously known about me and whatnot. And then Shields and Holt, 100%.
Hole's in the top 3
Holt taught me a lot. Taught me a lot.
for sure. Shout out to Hole. Appreciate that. Yeah, obviously, I would say he's definitely in my top 3 as well. I'm trying to think. Damn,
We didn't have the same teachers a lot, so
we really didn't. I would say, Mr. Steiger. I don't know if you ever had him, but man,
I met him though.
that dude, man. let's just say he's not a teacher, and he's not a teacher right now, and with good reason. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That man right there, unfiltered, didn't care, great character. Probably shouldn't have been a teacher, but a fantastic teacher
I'd
nonetheless.
say he'd be a good college professor though.
Yes, maybe not. Maybe not.
Depends
Honestly.
on what he's teaching, but
Exactly. He
I
was.
mean, he definitely has his experiences, and I've talked to him a lot, but nothing really.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's a dude's dude. Like pretty much.
Yeah.
That's the way I describe him. Holt, I would say, makes it in the top three. Like I said, sadly,
You gotta have one female teacher in there.
do I?
I don't know who is gonna be your other
The
one.
third one, I would say, honestly, probably not. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have a female in there. Honestly, no, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably say Mr. Cassidy.
Oh, that's the homeboy
Forgot.
that got me in chemistry.
Dude, he was, oh my God, best chemistry teacher in the history of chemistry teachers, by the way.
University of 7-Eleven.
Exactly. Boy, that boy is spitting.
You're gonna be flipping patties at Burger King or something. I don't know what fast food restaurant he was saying. But
Dude, he
done
was,
say
how
it.
did he not, he was just so good at what okay, he was just, okay, I thought about this the other day. He was so good at teaching that it didn't matter what he said. They were going to keep him as a teacher. Because if you think about it,
Yeah.
and this is,
He was.
this
He was.
week,
Well,
guys-
it's because I mean, homeboy was teaching for a minute.
oh yeah, no,
He did.
for sure.
He has no filter either, but he just
None.
is more careful about what he says and who he says it to. Because obviously, let's be real. He knew he couldn't say everything to a lot of people, but with the people he knew that he could push, like to me, homeboy would call me up to the board every day.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Every day because he knew that's the only way I was gonna pay attention. Because I was the first day he did it, not a clue what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, he pulled me after class. He's like, I know I just embarrassed you, but it was like, it's gonna make you pay attention, and I'm gonna keep calling on you so that you're on top of it. And that's honestly, that's the only reason why I'm still doing chemistry today, because he's the one that, as long as you're on it, and that, a lot of discipline came through him too. As long as you're on your studies and you're going through and reviewing, and flashcards was a big one that I had to do with him because we had to memorize the elements and polyatomic ions and blah blah blah. Definitely was a big help to kind of setting myself up for college because I had him my sophomore year and I kind of carried all my like the way I studied the rest through high school and even some through college now.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was not for everybody. I would say if you were a liberal, boy, that's what I'm saying. How is he not? How is he still teaching, my dog?
Because he was never open about what where he
was-
fell. He never said whether.
That's bullshit. You know
Obviously-
damn well he's a Republican. Ain't no way.
I know, but he
dragged
never,
liberals through the mud on the daily.
Yeah.
Dragged them through the mud. I don't know how with this weak ass society. I'm surprised he didn't get canceled already.
Homeboy definitely knew how to teach though.
Yes, for
He
sure.
got a lot of kids really good study habits and making sure they're on top of their stuff because he would embarrass this shit out of you, pulling you up to the board on some of the hardest things that he knew were hard that not everybody would get even if they were paying attention.
Exactly. And yeah, I just overall just love the way he taught just because like you said he pushed everybody to literally do their best. And I'm pretty sure within my class, I think everybody finished with at least a B.
Yeah. I think we had 2 C's and I think that's it.
Or at least a B, yeah, like I
Yeah.
mentioned. Yeah, I finished
A's,
with like
B's, and then just 2 C's that we had.
I think I finished with like a 94 in his class. Like I say, fantastic teacher, fantastic teacher. But yeah, I had to bring him up. I was thinking about some other teachers, but I was like, man, no. Yeah, as a legendary teacher.
Yeah, he is a legendary. I mean, I don't think if he's still teaching today. I mean, 5 years after what? We've graduated 2 years ago, but he's been
Damn.
teaching. He was teaching at McClintock when it first opened. And McClintock's is like 60 something.
Exactly. That boy's he's a vet. He's a vet. He put in his time, man. Like I said, the stories that he had, hey man.
The one thing I'll always take from his class, he said, and I quote, "Your first marriage,
Yes,
always do it for the money. The second one, you have the money to spend. Now you do it for love. Always.
Yes. That's
Always."
hey, that boy right there. He was spitting game. He was spitting game.
And he said, I mean, I feel like that's exactly what he did because I know he got divorced, and I'm guessing he's married now, or maybe divorced again. But he definitely did. He definitely got married twice.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. The interesting individual, that's for damn sure. Like I say, you don't meet another person like that in your life. I'll tell you that for sure. Man, that guy.
A different story.
Exactly. All right, so we have a few people in here. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. Make sure you leave a comments. We're gonna go ahead and end off here in a second. one thing I like to do before I end the podcast is I like for you to give one piece of advice that the people could take just from watching this podcast. Just like I said at the end, do you have any specific um, maybe like a certain thing that you've been thinking about recently, or like maybe a mindset, something like that? To just leave the people off on that.
I mean, I wasn't thinking of anything, but obviously, if you've been watching, you obviously saw what just happened with the comment that I received. Um,
Okay.
but I, with that, I mean, I can kind of end off with obviously, you know who you are and the kind of person you are. Don't let anybody change that.
Yeah. Don't.
Obviously, yeah, I was friends with the guy first, but if a person's asking me for help, why am I gonna deny him for help if I know I can maybe look at it and know what it is and save him a couple $100s? Because Jeeps are no joke.
Yeah, for
Jeeps
sure.
are money guzzlers. Gas, obviously.
Oh my God, we don't got to talk about gas. We have a
Any
whole
little
podcast.
thing, I mean, obviously it's gonna run your bill. So if I could help a person out, then I'm going to. Rather say if one of your exes hit me up and be like, yeah, I know you have a Jeep, can you come look at it? I mean, I'll let you know and be like, sure. I mean, obviously maybe I could have let him know that I was gonna do that, and it probably wouldn't look as bad. Same time, it was probably, I think she dropped me off at like 9 in the morning. Like, I mean, I wasn't thinking, like, I woke up and I told her, like, I'm awake if you want to come swing by and we can go look at it. And that's what happened. I mean, I know my morals and what I believe in. And obviously, I've never been the one to kind of just do something like that.
Yeah, you like I
So,
said, you don't move slimy like that. Come on now.
that's what happened. I mean, and then even afterwards, I thought we were fine because afterwards this happened. Um, she told me, the ex told me, that she went in and helped him because he was moving out. So she was nice enough and helped him. I don't know if it happened or not. The girl said that he tried to look down her shirt to see if she had hickeys, and she left after that. Because obviously they weren't together at that point. She was just being nice,
Yeah.
and then she told me about it. I was like, if you really thought we slept together, then you could have just asked me.
Yeah, for sure.
I have no reason to lie to you.
Yeah, there's a way to handle that for sure.
I mean, and then I told him, I was like, we were friends first, so I wasn't gonna betray your trust. She asked me for help, and I willingly went to help. I wasn't trying to score points. I wasn't trying to make you jealous. I don't know if her plan was to make you jealous, but from my intentions, it was nothing like that. So I would just say stick true to what you know. Obviously, people are gonna bash on you and maybe not see for who you are and what trust they have in you, but at the end of the day, you know who you are.
Okay, for sure. And then one thing I would like to say, which kind of ties into that, is don't let anyone tell you who you are. At the end of the day, you know who you are, and never let anyone mislabel you. Of course, it can happen from time to time, but at the end of the day, know yourself and know that know know yourself. And like Bray had mentioned, know your worth for sure. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Jason, man.
Anytime, Jay.
Hey, Pablo approved right there, my dog. All right, so we'll go ahead and end off. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. We definitely have to have a podcast in the future for sure. But other than that, hope you guys have a good rest of your night. And podcast coming this Friday. So stay tuned in for that. Y'all have a good rest of your night.